Shavua Tov, everyone. Shalom Betham. I hope this message finds you healthy and finds you well. As we look into this coming week, we recognize the fact that it contains one of the most stark emotional transitions that we have within our entire Jewish calendar. Beginning tonight, Monday night, we begin Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day. And it begins with the sound of a siren at which the entire country stops. Everyone stands at attention. And for the next 24 hours, we remember those people who have fallen in support of and in defense of the country of Israel. What's most amazing to me about this is that the entire country is involved. Everyone finds a way to make this day meaningful. And you'll find that individual units have their own time to come together and remember. Individual communities have their time to remember their loved ones. Certainly families do. And then something happens. Tuesday night, at the end of Yom HaZikaron, there's this transition within minutes from sadness to joy. And we begin Yom HaAtzmaut, we begin Israel's Independence Day. And then for the next 24 hours after that, it is a celebration of everything that is amazing and good about Israel. If you've never had the opportunity to see it, I encourage you to look on YouTube, to type in Yom HaZikaron siren or Israel's Memorial Day siren, and you'll see the entire country coming to a stop. And I remember when I was there last time, the streets on Yom HaAtzmaut were just crazy. Everybody was running around. There was silly string. There was this celebration. And as an American, as somebody who isn't there, it's difficult sometimes for us to understand how it is that they're able to transition from one moment into the next, from one emotion into the next, so quickly and so completely. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from that here in the United States and here in this time of COVID, because we are trying to find a way to go from moment to moment in our lives, and it's hard. We're trying to go from a work meeting into dealing with our children, into recognizing the overwhelming fact that we're in isolation, into celebrating something. And all of these things are happening very quickly, and we're being challenged to find ourselves whole in each one of these. So I want us to think a little bit today about the Jewish concept of pnimiyut. Pnimiyut is introspection, looking inward. And it's a Hasidic concept, it's a Musar concept that allows us to be in the moment by recognizing where we are at that moment. Normally, we spend a lot of time thinking about Pnimiyut on Shabbat. When we don't have a lot to do, we can look inward, we can read, we can grow, we can use this time on Shabbat to really develop our spiritual selves. But now, we have a lot of time that is like Shabbat. We have a lot of time that we can't go out and do other things. So this period of COVID is actually a really interesting time for us to start to cultivate this idea of pnimiyut, this idea of making sure that we are looking inward and not just outward at these moments in our lives. Are we there? Are we present? And the question is, how do we do that? First and foremost, step one, take a breath and recognize the moment that you are in. We are so used to multitasking, and now it's so easy. We've got multiple screens, we've got multiple Zoom meetings, we're all doing 15 things at the same time. Let's take some time each day to focus on one thing at a time. Let's pick a couple of tasks, a couple of moments that we want to give ourselves and devote ourselves to wholly and fully. And they can be work, and they can be family, and they can be all different moments, and you can choose which ones you want to devote yourself to. But let's take that breath and be in the moment. Second of all, let's use this time as an opportunity to learn and grow about ourselves, to begin to cultivate that sense of self-awareness. It is all too easy for us just to feel like we're stagnating, and we have it within our ability through the internet, through our books, through our Zoom meetings with people, to actually continue to use this time to grow and expand ourselves, and not just go and binge watch all of the TV that we want to do, which is fun, and I do it too. But to begin to grow ourselves and to begin to use this time to make sure that we don't stagnate. And the third step, and finally, it's important for us to recognize that it's okay to carve out time for ourselves. It's okay for us to say, you know, I need a little bit of time that I can do X. And in our families, it's tough. It's tough because there's so many different things pulling us in different directions, and we may need the partnership of the other people in our family to be able to say, okay, for these next 20 minutes, I want to do something for me. And then after that, to your spouse, to your loved one, even to your kids, to say, okay, now this is your opportunity, and I'm going to let you do what you need to do so that you can grow. A quote that I heard and really spoke to me in all of this comes from actually a meditation guru by the name of Amit Ray. And he says, if you want to conquer the anxiety of life, live in the moment, live in the breath. Let's all spend some time this week living in the moments that we have, celebrating the moments that we have, and growing ourselves into everything that we can be. Shavua Tov.